Olga, and Olga is the co-founder and CEO of ExploRussia. She's also teaching about sustainable traveling and sustainable destinations. And she will give us an idea how new trends and habits can look like in the terms of COVID. And please welcome with me, Olga, and the digital stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I, like everyone before, will start sharing my screen. And today, well, I tried to avoid all terms connected with pandemic or COVID, but when we talk about travel, more or less, we have to talk about that. Today, I would like to give you some big picture. So the events, what the world faced last year, how it will influence us already this year, how it will influence our travel, our habits, and how we can live with that. Like it was said that anyway, we continue living every day and we continue our life. So we have to cope with that somehow. I will be on the way. I will be sharing some pictures, all are mine. And this one, so Steffi knows that last 2 days I spent on the road, traveling from a Russian village, where this picture was taken just a few days ago, this week actually. And this is a small village where our friend is having her micro enterprise of honey products, and basically she started it like 7 years ago, and it's completely changed the face of this village. And we were to start bringing tourists there. So now when tourism is on pause, we won a grant, European Union grant, and we will now start we will now make the audio guide there. So yes, I'm still in my mind very much into that trip. So here are some pictures. So the heritage of 2020. What happened? Basically, the travel which we knew, rest in peace. So we remember our very often travels, how we escaped European winter to Southeast Asia, how we went for small city breaks to Paris, to Rome, to any places in the world. It was uncomfortable not to have tickets to some destination, right? And at some point of time, I remember that the founder of sustainabletravel.com, which is an online service for local sustainable tour operators, he told, whatever efforts we are going to take now as local tour operators during our trips, it won't really change the global agenda on sustainability if we won't stop traveling by planes. Because actually the CO2 emissions which happen when we take our flight to our Saturday, Sunday vacation, just to just to make those Instagram shots, they won't uncover those what we're trying to make it locally, working with local guides, taking locally sustainable transport and so on. So basically everything stopped, and who was influenced in travel? Mostly, of course, like airlines, local tour operators, local guides, and hotels. And our personal story. So here is the picture from our last team days. Sure, you know those who started after ISIC their own companies, that everyone has team days, agendas, right? So everything how we've been taught. And this is the picture from our last team days, our expanded team. We had like 3,000 tourists in Moscow during the season, for short trips, and for longer trips like Moscow, like starting from 4 days up to 3 weeks. We had like 300 people per season, so it was really intense, and we had really big team. But then I liked to, when everything happened, and basically our last group of Taiwanese. They were traveling across Trans-Siberian Railway, and they were hardly allowed into the country because for Russian laws, we never knew they were coming from Taiwan, and they were Chinese in the end. They were Taiwanese because that's a very uh, and they got into the country, and they were actually our last tourists we had. So when they left, everything got shut down like completely. And I compared it like we were playing chess, and then at some point of time, I remained with a blank board. Like, I don't have chess to play, and I can't do anything with that. But anyway, I mean, life goes on. And what comes next in terms of travel? So we say that, and actually it started to continue in 2020. So people started to travel local, they started to travel near, they started to travel slow, making it private, and they went virtual. So now I'll explain what was all that. So we started to travel local and near. That's the screenshot which I made just today from the main page of Airbnb. So their main slogan right now is "Go near." So basically, we started to explore our own countries. We started to take close destinations, somewhere we can get by easily, like within several hours. So it's basically, we started to develop if the tourism wasn't developed like around big cities, it was a certain push. And very interesting, but we started to see our native or close destinations from a tourist perspective, or even our own cities from a tourist perspective. And that's a little bit different perception, which is kind of cool way as well. So slow and private, what is that? That's myself and our friend Guzel, who owns that micro production of honey products. And we are actually inspecting the place where we want to start our SAP route. SAP is small boats. So that tourists can explore both the village and can go with SAPs, by SAPs. So what is that, slow and private? Basically, that also means that we want to experience less destinations for the same period of time. So before, for 3 days and for 4 days, we could, jump off and on several cities, several destinations. But now we want to slow down. We want to be based at some point of time, and basically to stay away from, to get in contact with as less people as we can. So we go rarer because, well, yes, we go rarer. And so that's why we choose more carefully. So we choose more carefully where we go. And we may spend also a little bit more, because now we go like several times per year, and then we accumulate money, and, well, less things to do in the city, less ways to spend money nowadays. Well, on the other hand, so that's only like from this perception from this side. Also, we tend to use private transportation, as my colleague said before, like bikes and our own cars and vans and scooters. And basically, now when we went 1,600 kilometers towards that village by car. It was, of course, an adventure for my husband and myself, a honeymoon, which we have taken after we had 2 kids for the first time. But also, he said it was very hygiene, to take our own car. And yes, we choose less crowded spots. We go out of the cities and we choose nature locations. And we go for smaller hotels, for private guiding, and we tend to make it all private. And together with that, we can get special access to the places where otherwise, where there were a lot of people traveling, we couldn't get access to. And what started very, very chaotically was virtual travel. I mean, everything went online, like, wow, April, and everything went online. It was extremely new market, new niche. No one could know what's happening, and there were like zero standards defined. Zero standards. That also has a question towards quality. And that's why it was totally, not demand-based, but there were so many guides and tour operators left with nothing. So we just didn't have the way out, but we went online. And so virtual tour was everything. It was webinar and lecture on anything. They were live streaming from destinations. I remember like our guides were live streaming because everyone went from Moscow to their native cities, so they were streaming from their native cities and giving us idea what's happening there. And a lot of master classes as well. Now you want to learn how to cook Mexican food, please, 100 tours online and you'll know how to cook Mexican. Private yoga classes, dance like an Indian, meditation, anything you can imagine of. And before, you have to, Google it properly, think where you can get, the best tutors and so on. Now everything is there. Suddenly, all museums, national parks, and galleries also went online. And before, they had all their funds, their shut down from tourists and visitors, only like the exhibitions which were on display. Now I think all major museums of the world are there online for you. I mean, recently I went to the pyramids in Egypt, like inside, and it was like, seriously, I'm inside of the pyramid. How do you like that? According to prices, it was everything. It was for free. It was super low prices. It was like VIP access, super high prices. And that was, market was trying everything at the same time. And of course, we should be aware that virtual travel is not real travel. So, and this is, so the goals are not the same, and the essence is not the same. It is something, like a Diet Coke. I don't drink Coke, but that's something what comes to my mind. I mean, this is something which we just created because we were in that circumstances. We hope that borders will open up. And I mean, ExploRussia is ExploRussia. We do only travel for foreigners. So that's why when borders are still closed, we are still doing no tours. And if I think of this summer, because we are living from summer to summer, summer is the high season, and I'm thinking of summer 2021, and I actually trying to be very sober in saying that everything will be kind of the same as it was previous year, but we'll see. So, going to the question, what is our call to the IC community, to the alumni? This is how did we respond to this virtual travel? That's myself and my daughter. And we are doing our Russian cooking class. And that's been on some demand among our tourists recently. So yeah, you can book a Russian cooking class with myself, and maybe Lena will show up at some point. She's a very independent girl. Yes, and that's basically a little bit more than just cooking things and dropping them into the bin. That's also, I talk a lot about culture, about history of our cuisine. I read fairy tales, and I show our iconic Soviet movies where they eat our traditional food. And that's the picture from a tour we had at the New Year's Eve. There, top left is myself and Anna, our other co-founder, also ISIC alumni. And we were having this virtual tour. It was a total blend of our own storytelling, of 360 content, videos, and photos, touring Moscow at some basic spots, and then everyone came with a shopping list from their shop in UK, having real vodka and salted cucumbers and something else. And we were actually cheering and saying toasts and sharing our Russian New Year traditions. So that's what we kind of also do. So why go for virtual travel? What it can give now? So it is actually easy way to get where you didn't plan to go. To go to not accessible places. So if I, for example, find, I don't know, some tour to the village in Brazil, I was like, wow, cool. I would never ever plan to go there. It will take tons of time and money and so on. But if I can have a glimpse how people live there, wow, that would be cool. Why not? Then it's again get new skills and knowledge, because it's enormous how much things is out there right now. And actually, I remember we were having a talk previous year that maybe we are even too under pressure, because now, of course, not that much now, but previous year was so locked. And then a lot of things, they were started to be open to us. And it's like a little bit of pressure then. Now it's the time to go and to start all courses on Coursera, which you didn't start like all previous years, because now you have time. Actually, that's a great way to prepare for the trip. As I told, now when we travel more rare, when we go for more for longer time to one destination, you want actually to prepare for the trip, wisely, and to plan it very carefully, not to be mistaken. So that's why you want to go for virtual travel. And that's like a short list where to book virtual experiences. So of course, Airbnb online experience has like a lot of them, and all master classes, touring, everything. Recently, Amazon had launched its virtual experiences with locals. They were testing it for the whole year with different local tour operators, and now they're having basically their unique content in many destinations. Well, Google Arts and Culture also helps with virtual tours of many museums and national parks, and I think even White House in Washington. Also go for official website of major museums and national parks. They have it all there on their official websites. And Google local tour operators of countries where you wanted to go to. Maybe now it's the right time to start this cultural exchange. And that's the snapshot from our website on the virtual Russian cuisine cooking experience. Yeah, and the last about the new habits. So as my colleagues said already previously, so you please support local business as never before, actually, because for many of us, this so actually your booking can decide whether this company continues to exist or it stops. So choose small hotels. It will be personal service. It will be always the personal story. And I would also advise to book via the company website, because always when you choose to book, I know it's booking.com, it is a commission which, say, the accommodation will pay also to booking.com. I think you can even, send a private message that, hey guys, well, that's not good to booking.com, but they will survive anyway. So you can even drop a message to a hotel that, guys, I found you on booking.com, and there you have, usually it's a better deal. So there you give a better deal, but anyways, it will be better for them. So yeah, I would do that. Choose choose private local guides and private tour operators. Now, going local, it's already the new vibe word that previously, like 20 years ago, all went like on a group trip. Now everyone goes local, like a local. So that's good demand. And benefit from flexible cancellation policy. Now it's already like a new black. All tour operators have and hotels as well have a very, very flexible cancellation policy, because everyone knows the world goes unpredictable. And that's the picture which I actually summarize my presentation with. That's three of us co-founders, all ISEC alumni, of course. And there was one guy from Luxembourg, I think, who emailed us and who said, guys, I think I like your business, and we continue running our social media. And he said, like, I would love to go on your tour, but I cannot. Can I have hoodie like you do, because you have cool hoodies? Actually, it was a very nice move from his side. We made a hoodie for him and mailed it to Luxembourg, and now soon he's having the virtual tour with us as well. So if you can find any way how you can support local tour business, and you have like a call to do so, please do. And yes, I have it like in default. Let's explore Russia together once we have a chance. And sure, I'll be very glad to stay in touch.